A long time ago, or not so long ago, there were some merchants who took a trip to Rome. They caught sight of the beautiful Lady Constance, the emperor's daughter. These merchants knew the Sultan of Syria, and upon trading stories about Lady Constance, the Sultan believed her to be his true love. As soon as the Sultan had heard the story, he called a council together.
But this is impossible. There's such a difference in religion. No Christian emperor will give his daughter to a man following Muhammad.
Rather than losing my true love, I will convert to Christianity. Stop the arguments. I have made my own decision. We will make the arrangements.
So through treaties, arrangements were indeed made for the two to get married. Then, on Constance's day of departure for Rome, she sorrowfully said goodbye to her parents.
Although I do not want to leave, I know it is best and meant to be. A woman is best servant to man. I pray for Christ to help me as I know he will. At the same time in Syria, the Sultan's mother called council, not pleased at all about her son's choice.
My son is on the verge of giving up his Muhammad and the Quran. Are we to give up our life's religion as well? This is barbaric and unjust. I have the answer to keeping our ways and being in favor with our prophet. Follow me and save our kingdom. Will you follow me?
All soldiers in the council agreed to follow the Sultaness, so that later on, when she came across her son, her plan came to life.
My son, I have decided to turn to Christianity, to welcome our Christian brothers and sisters. May I prepare a celebration in the Great Hall?
You have my permission. So when Constance arrived with her soldiers, the Sultaness welcomed them with open arms and took them to the hall where a feast took place. However, the feast did not end the way a feast should. Go for it.
Constance was sent in a small boat without rudder, with her money, food, and clothes back to Rome. She sailed for 5 years in the Mediterranean Sea, wandering aimlessly. No one is to question how she survived that long without food or drink. Christ filled her needs in order for her to survive. She ended up sailing into the English Channel and landed in Northumberland in England, where the boat struck so deep in the sand that not even the tide could move her. Okay.
Please, I beg of you, give me mercy and kill me now.
Poor girl, who are you?
I don't know, I forgot me at sea. Both the warden and his wife, Dame Hermegild, were very taken by the young woman, so they too took her into their house. Although the warden and his wife were pagans, they both accepted Constance into their house. She prayed and followed Christ so faithfully that Hermegild was taken by it and decided she wanted to convert to Christianity without the knowledge of her husband. Then, one day, Constance, the warden, and his wife were walking along the beach when they spotted a blind man, who said, "In the name of Christ, Dame Hermegild, give me back my sight." Hermegild grew frightened since her husband had not known.
What is the meaning of this?
Then Constance started explaining and telling of Christ's wonders in such a persuasive way that before evening, the warden had converted as well.
Then Satan despised Constance because in his mind she was too perfect. Therefore he put a spell on a knight from the village who fell in love with Constance and attempted to woo her. Constance, however, resisted, and when she did, the knight decided to take revenge by killing Dame Hermegild and placing the knife by Constance as she slept. The knight claimed Constance did it, but people could not believe how innocent Constance could have done that. This matter was then brought in front of King Elia.
Right. Yeah. Please, Christ, I'm innocent of this crime. Please save me.
So the king was filled with compassion and decided to question the knight again on the matter. What really happened to Dame Hermegild?
Constance killed her with a knife.
As soon as the knight claimed this, he was pushed hard against a rock by an invisible hand that said, "You have put blame on an innocent daughter of the church. How dare you?" The people in the crowd were astonished, and then King Elia condemned the knight to death. Then, after that, Constance married this king, so she became the queen.
Shortly after that, she became pregnant, and the king had to leave for the Scotslands to fight of enemies. While he was gone, Constance gave birth to a baby boy, which they baptized Maurice. She wrote a letter to her husband telling of the wonderful news, and a messenger took it to him. However, on his way there, Donegild, the king's mother, stopped him and persuaded him to spend the night just to recover. That night, Donegild took the original letter and switched it for another one. However, on his way there, Donegild, the king's mother, stopped him and persuaded him to spend the night just to recover. That night, Donegild took the original letter and switched it for another one. Donegild did not like Constance and her baby at all, so she wrote a new letter saying how the baby was deformed.
The messenger, unaware, delivered this letter to the king, unaware of the switchings. The king, when he read this, was very torn, but he decided there was a reason for it.
Take this back. The messenger once again slept at the castle of Donegal, and once again she switched the letters. When the messenger reached the castle of Constance, the letter was given to the warden. Constance has 3 days to pack her bags and leave this land with her son in the small boat she arrived. She is never to return. Anyone refusing to send her away will be punishable on pain of death. I do not understand this. He has never done one mean thing in his life. I don't know why he would do this.
All the people were very confused by this king's letter, but not wanting to disobey his orders, sadly sent Constance away. Shortly after, the king arrived back at the castle and inquired to see his son and wife. The warden, along with others, told the king what had taken place, and after torturing the messenger for answers, the king killed his own mother for treason. The king also felt extremely sorrowful for his wife and child and grieved intensely.
Both Constance and her child spent more than 5 years at sea, struggling, and Constance found it hard to bear. Just when she was about to give up, she came across a ship where a senator was sailing toward Rome. Upon seeing her, the senator felt deeply pitiful toward her and took her with him to Rome. In Rome, he took her and her son under his wing along with his wife, where she lived for some time. At the same time, King Alla felt such guilt about what had happened to his wife. He set sail for Rome for penitence from the Pope. The king became acquainted with the senator, and the king then invited the senator over for a feast. Constance, knowing that of her husband's whereabouts, sent her son Maurice with him. The king noticed him at once.
By God, who is this child?
He has a mother, but I don't know about his father. But I will tell you this. His mother is the most virtuous woman I have ever seen. She would never do anything like it.
The king immediately thought of his wife, but then thought,
This can't be. She should have died long ago at sea.
The king, however, did go with the senator to meet the mother of Maurice and recognized his wife at once. They both wept and apologized, and the king begged.
Let me make it up to you.
there is one thing. Let us start with my father, but not tell him up front who I am.
So the day was set, and Constance did see her father.
Father, I'm your daughter, Constance. You sent to Syria a long time ago. Please don't send me back.
Happiness filled the air because both were overjoyed. The emperor over time appointed Maurice as the next emperor,
And then Constance went back to England with her husband, where they lived happily ever after.
Wouldn't that be a great ending? But that's not what happened. A year later, King Alla died, so Constance went back to her home, where she was met by many friends and family, including her father.